What's going on, everybody? Kriddle here, back again with another weapon review. Today we're going to be talking about the Hunter Killer. It is a legendary assault rifle in Fortnite Save the World, and if you do not already have one, then you can always try to get one from the item shop. Go to Pinatas and try to buy some upgrade llamas. It does have to go gold as it is legendary. Or if you want to get one right now and guarantee, you could go in here to the collection book, go to ranged weapons, and come right down here to semi-automatic rifles, and you can research it right here. It does cost 60 weapon designs and 100 legendary flux. These weapons designs you can get from recycling rare or higher tier weapons, and the flux you can get out of the weekly shop. Every week you have 25 that you can buy out of the weekly shop, so it will take you several weeks to be able to get those legendary flux, but hopefully you get lucky and you just get one out of a llama. And let's go and check it out and see what kind of weapon this is. So the Hunter Killer is a fairly unique weapon in that it is a semi-automatic with high headshot damage. This becomes very important when you are speccing this weapon. As you can see, I have the 30% extra damage here. I have magazine size. I went with water on mine as it is my primary water weapon. I also have the headshot damage modifier on here because of this extra headshot damage. You want to be aiming for headshots. 45% damage to afflicted targets, which is because I have the affliction down here as my 6th perk. Now, in my opinion, the best perks to have for most weapons in the game would go with the affliction or the snare perk. But you could also, with this particular weapon, go with the headshot eliminations, cause an explosion that does 30% of weapon damage within a half a tile radius, which is okay, but I wouldn't really recommend doing that unless you can guarantee you're going to get the headshot for the very last shot. This other one right here is 5 headshots in a row, increases range weapon damage by 30% for 10 seconds. Now, this one would be okay potentially. However, because I have the affliction on here, I can get 45% more damage, which essentially after the first shot, the monster or husk is afflicted, so I'll be doing 45% more damage. The only other thing that I could possibly put here would be the Mist Monster, which would be okay for this weapon, but I prefer to go this route. So let's go take a look at the stats real quick. As you can see, this thing does 10,549 damage with my current setup at Shadow Shard 106, and you can see here that it does 25,000 damage for headshot. Now, if I were to go over here and compare it to something like the Gravedigger, let's just put these side-by-side comparisons so you guys can see the difference in the headshot damage is 67% approximately. 67% more headshot damage on the Hunter Killer versus the Gravedigger over here. Now, my Gravedigger is set up for crit rating, where this weapon would benefit from crit, but I will show you why we don't want to go crit chance with crit damage on this weapon here in a second because of the whole headshot thing. So let's go take a look at that real quick. And all right, so we come over here and we're going to inspect, modify perks. So the only options we have here are crit rating, crit damage, fire rate, and reload speed. You could go with literally any one of these if you wanted to. However, damage, I believe, is the best. Fire rate is a potentially second way that I would go with this, but I like to go damage rate as it uses less of your durability, less ammo, and you're just going to be doing more damage. Because if you go with fire rate, you're going to be firing more often and doing 30% less damage. The fire rate, however, if you can fire 42% faster, would overall be more damage per second in most cases. So that's kind of a thing up to, decision up to you, which way you want to go with it. I like to go with damage on mine. I could go, like I said, with the crit rating here and then come down here and do crit damage. But the reason I don't want to do that is because of the headshot damage multiplier here. If you were to go with the crit rating here, that would increase this to about 38% and then increase this to the 135% more crit damage. But I feel like the overall 40% more damage here plus the 30% more damage here just ends up being a bit better. And then, like I said here, you can go with the Mist Monster or Slow and Snared if you have a Slow and Snared version, which is probably my preferred version, but I have never been able to find a slow and snared version. I have 4 hunter killers, and the 2 of them had affliction, and the other 2, as you saw just a minute ago, had the headshot elimination perks on them. So the other one is the stunned and staggered. This right here I would almost never use, because you actually have to stun or stagger or knock down the target to be able to get that 45%, whereas most cases you're going to be able to get affliction or snare. So this is the way I go with mine. This is probably the preferred way for most people. Here you could go with either magazine size or reload speed. If you find yourself constantly hitting that reload button, you might want to go with the reload speed. I do hit the reload button very, very often when I am playing normally. So reload speed is something that I could potentially use in the future. But right now I have mine set to magazine size just to get a little bit more ammo here. I'm up to 52 shots per magazine, and it helps you take out some of those larger husks, like a smasher or maybe even a husky husk in higher level missions. So there is the weapon. What we're going to do is we're going to jump into a mission here in just a second, and we're going to take a look at how this thing performs. I will be using this hero loadout right here, which is an urban assault. Which is great for testing out pretty much any ranged weapon in the game. With Master Grenadier for the additional assault rifle damage by 24%, and then I'm going to be putting in Double Agent Evelyn just as my tactical slot, even though we're not going to be using the cluster bomb. For this slot, you can use pretty much whatever you want. It just all depends on how you like to play. So cluster bomb is the one that I prefer to go with. So let's go jump into a mission here and see how this thing performs. All right, so here we are all loaded in, and we've got our hunter killer equipped. It's not the best looking weapon, I don't believe, in the game, but it does function fairly well. So we'll take a look at that here in a second. But it does fire at a fairly decent rate. As you can see, it is a semi-automatic rifle, so you do have to continue to click every time that you do want to fire it, as opposed to just holding down the trigger. It is extremely accurate. As you can see, I'm barely, barely moving my cursor there as I'm firing this weapon. It is extremely, extremely accurate, which is another benefit to this weapon, since it is a headshot weapon where you do want to be hitting headshots as much as possible. So as you can see, I can hit this light post, fairly easy. I don't even have to really adjust my aim, whereas on a fully automatic weapon, you tend to have to do quite often. So let's go see if we can find some monsters to take out here and test this thing out. All right, here's a little small horde of monsters that we can try it out. As you can see, as I hit body shots there, I was doing about 30,000 20 to 30,000 damage. You hit a headshot though, I'm getting upwards of 45,000 damage, 50,000 damage right there. So you can see how hitting those headshots definitely does make a difference with this weapon, and the range and is pretty good on it. So and it's very, very accurate. As you can see, I'm just popping those things right in the head very, very easily. All right, so we've tested this thing out against some of the smaller husks. Let's see how it works up against a smasher. As you can see, I am taking him out pretty quickly. He still was able to charge at me, but it looks like about 1 clip worth of ammo to get him. Those last couple of shots were in his back. So there is the hunter killer. And let's give you guys my final verdict on this weapon. All right, so there you have it, the hunter killer. My final verdict on this weapon is it is a very, very good weapon if you're looking for accuracy, headshots, something that can pair very well with urban assault. There are other assault rifles that can do more DPS, such as the typewriter, the hemlock will do more, the pain train, but those are all also event weapons, so you can no longer get them. This is a very good weapon that you can get today. It is extremely accurate for hitting those headshots and doing a decent amount of damage. So you would not use up as much ammo with this weapon as you would with a fully automatic rifle either. So hopefully you guys like this review. If you would like to check me out on Twitch, twitch.tv/criddlecraddle, where I play this game quite often and stream it when I do nothing but viewer games with you guys. I will make you one of these weapons if you come in, give me the materials for it. I'm happy to make you one of these weapons or any other weapon in the game so that you guys can try them out. So please, if you feel like you might want to buy this weapon but you're not sure if it's going to work out for you, come on by my Twitch channel and just ask. Appreciate you guys watching the video, and I will see you guys next time.